is it? We know where we can find it, but what is the Amazing Marvel podcast? Why did you create it? And where would you like to see it go?
So the Amazing Marvel podcast, basically, after having like a year of like a hiatus with Marvel content, I'm sure the comics still came out. I'm not a huge comic reader myself, but I'm thinking like in terms of the medium that I prefer, the films and the TV shows. This year and the years ahead are like loaded with content, and I'm very excited to see, where those stories go, because we have these characters left after a big event. A lot of characters survived, a lot of characters didn't. And so we get to see the fallout of that big, universe-wide event. And, it's almost like very similar, like, us coming back to shows like WandaVision. It's like, the Avengers have been on a hiatus, but so is our like real world, just because of, everything that's going on right now with the pandemic and such. So, but now we're back, and the thing is, it's kind of good. It was good for me because I was excited, and in anticipation for it, I started reading some comics that the show, like for example, WandaVision was based on. And I was able, my first episode of the podcast, I definitely went through a lot of those comics and, combed through those and really got down to, what I thought could happen, given, because this is an adaptation. Adaptations are, can range from very strict to very loose. And, I know that a handful of things from the comics, they probably won't play out in the movies because those things haven't been touched or they're not relevant. So that's what I did for the first episode. And then they put out a couple episodes of Marvel Studios Legends, which kind of recaps the characters that the show's about. And so I looked at those, and then I kind of pulled from that what I could in regards to how they edited those episodes. They're like several minutes long. But everything's important. The dialogue they include, the clips they include, and how they match up. So I definitely took the first two episodes of my podcast to really delve into those things. I got really theory crazy, and even throughout, as we're watching the episodes, it was a very, very slow pace, and not to mention, because that's how shows work, and I feel like that was something very different for a lot of the fans, but also different in like ways that they might not, be totally comfortable with. But at the same time, it's like, hey, this is week to week. We get to come up with a bunch of theories, and that's the fun of it. But also, like a lot of people probably set their expectations too high, just because Marvel is such a big, it's become so expansive over the last decade. And now people are encountering this new whole realm when it comes to shows and such. So, but yeah, the weekly reviews, the weekly, whether their reactions or reviews, it was a lot of fun to do. And I'm glad to be doing it for Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all the shows to come. I guess where I'd like to see this podcast go is definitely try to be different than, a lot of the different podcasts out there and a lot of the different reviewers out there, to try to like pull, reasonable theories and try to make, pretty cool predictions, but at the same time, give a creative touch to like where me or anybody who I have on, thinks that the MCU the direction it could go in. So I want to try to like give a lot of people an opportunity, not just myself, but other people that I have on, an opportunity to kind of speak what they think could happen and how they would tell a story.